You know what a ratchet is, right? It's a tool, actually a family of tools, really, where you move a wrench or another lever in both directions, but it only has an effect one way. Like here's a jack for lifting up a car. You move the lever of the ratchet back and forth, but the car you're lifting doesn't go up and down and up and down. It just goes up, or you switch it and then it goes down. That's a ratchet at work. It's the same thing when it comes to government regulation or government taxation. Pretty much anything to do with the scope of government. Once a tax is introduced, like the income tax, it goes up, but it never goes back down. It never goes away. Once a freedom is lost, you never get it back. It only goes one way, like a ratchet. And of course, I'm talking about the pandemic. Look at this story in Blacklock's Reporter out of Ottawa. It's about that app made by the federal government to download onto your cell phone that would detect other cell phones with the app, and it would contact trace you for the virus to let you know if you've been near other people with the app who had the virus too. I mean, imagine willingly, voluntarily signing up for that spyware on your phone. But don't worry. I mean, Justin Trudeau himself promised, and I mean, cross your heart, no cross fingers, stamp, no erases. He totally promised it wouldn't invade your privacy. I mean, you can trust him, right?
It protects the privacy to a greater degree than some health experts would like. They'd love to know who you contacted so they could communicate with them. They'd love to know where you were in order to see better what kind of case spread is happening. But we made the decision that protecting people's privacy and getting more people to use it was the right decision. So it absolutely protects your privacy. It's totally voluntary.
Well, incredibly, 6.3 million people actually did download that app. Now, out of 38 million Canadians, it's not a ton, but it's still a lot. I mean, that's a heck of a thing right there. And to know that there are 6.3 million people who love to tell the government about themselves. It's sort of an IQ test. They voluntarily let their health data into the hands of Trudeau, but he promised he'd treat it carefully. But it's still a failure. So says the government itself. They wanted us all to have this malware on our phones. But here's what the story is about. Let me read the headline. Use Fed app for data scoop. Huh? A COVID alert app downloaded by more than 6 million Canadians has been used for data collection, says a federal panel. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau had promised users' privacy would be respected when the app was launched 11 months ago. The government of Canada has begun to broadly consider how the COVID alert app could potentially extend beyond a government service to Canadians and the public health systems towards a tool that will also support Canadians and businesses in our economic, social, and mental health recovery and restoration, wrote Cabinet's App Advisory Council. The panel acknowledged privacy worries. The council, in a first interim report, said Cabinet, quote, has consulted Statistics Canada regarding any data of value they may be collecting, e.g., the number of mobiles in Canada and best methodologies and practices for the calculation of data that could be applied to the Government of Canada's current approach, e.g. app downloads. That's odd. I thought Trudeau said this was all private. The report did not identify what information was sought from 6.3 million of 33 million Canadian mobile device users who downloaded the app. It will be critical for individuals and businesses in Canada to have trust in the app's ability to support the safe return to work sites and universities, their reopening of businesses, and their use of modes of transportation, including public transit, wrote the council. Huh, really? Is that what we have to trust? That it'll be used for those good purposes? I thought we were told it wouldn't be used for any purposes. But remember Doug Ford himself, the Premier of Ontario, boasting that one time that he could track people who landed at the Pearson International Airport and went into the city. He said he could do that. Gee, who gave him the search warrant to track people on their cell phone? Here's more from Blacklock's. The council wants to continue to be engaged in discussions on collection of data, particularly the viability of data collection given privacy considerations, it wrote. The council has indicated the Government of Canada must continue to carefully consider the risks of public perception and trust from a privacy perspective when considering additional data collection. The expected outcomes associated with additional data collection should be clearly articulated to ensure it outweighs the risk. Yeah, I think they're conditioning us to accept these invasions of privacy. 6.3 million people have obediently agreed to it already. That's pretty incredible. Now, it didn't work, by the way, at least for the original purpose, but was that the real purpose? Let me read. As of February 24th, only 24,695 of 852,000 Canadians infected with the COVID uploaded an app alert, less than 3%. The council acknowledged the program was not successful. Some Canadians remain unaware of the existence of the app or its primary benefits, wrote the council. Some who have downloaded the app have chosen to uninstall it. Well, they're naughty. Some subgroups within Canada's population may be less inclined, able, or willing to download the COVID Alert app, said the council, including students, privacy advocates, they're the worst, immigrants who speak neither English nor French, and seniors, only 60% of whom carry smartphones with them on a regular basis. Hey, do you really think that the contact tracing was the primary purpose of the app? Or do you think there was another purpose that we're starting to get a feeling for now? That's an excerpt from my daily show, The Ezra Levant Show. Every day I do a monologue on the news of the day, then I interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. You gotta subscribe. Go to rebelnews.com.